The last time we saw the New Zealand Breakers, they had a buzzer beater shootout with the Gold Coast Blaze, and the Breaker gunslingers showed that the NSEC ain't big enough for the two of them. That win sent them on the road, where they fell to the Cairns Taipans but got the double over the Gold Coast Blaze. Wa hoki mai rātou ki te wā kāinga, me te whāinga, kia hoki anō ki te taumata o te NBL. Heoi kei konei te kapa Perth Wildcats e tatari ana. The boys are back in town taking on the Perth Wildcats in round 7 of the NBL Poi Tūkohu, and this is on the home of Breaker Basketball, Māori Television. E rauranga tira mā hoki mora mai anō ki te North Shore Event Centre i Tāmaki Makaurau mo te tukinga ki Wainganui te kapa Breakers me te kapa Wildcats. E oku nui, e oku rahi, tauti mai anō kia whakaata Māori tēnei te tūranga waiwai Poi Tūkohu o Aotearoa. Wa tai atu tātou ki te rauna tua whitu o te whakataetai ANBL, ara he kemu miharo kei mua i te aroaro, he tukinga ki Wainganui i te kapa New Zealand Breakers me te kapa Perth Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, great to have you back for more Breakers basketball action. I'm Te Arahi Maipi, and it is a big game. Every time these two teams go at it, it is sure to be an entertaining fixture, and that's the Breakers versus the Wildcats. And it's a pleasure to welcome you all, as well as my mate Chris Tupu. Tēnā rā watu koe e hoa.
Tēnā koe, Te Arahi.
Chris, looking at this Perth Wildcats team, they're at the last stage of a 3-game road trip, and they won the first 2. They come in to the NSEC in form.
They are the informed team, there's no doubt about it. The Breakers big men are going to have their hands full tonight. They've got a huge front line, Isaiah Victor, Ben Knight from the Singapore Slingers. They've got Alex Loughton, close to 7 foot, and of course they've got MVP candidate so far this year, Sean Redditch. So a big job for the big guys from the Breakers tonight.
They do bolster a massive front court, the Perth Wildcats, but they've also had a great addition to their backcourt, and that's Darnell Hinson, the point guard from the West Sydney Razorbacks. But looking now at the Breakers, who have just had their first road trip, 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss against the Cairns Taipans and the Gold Coast Blaze. Your impression of their first trip over the ditch?
Well, if I'm Coach Lemanis, I'm happy with that result. 1-1 on the road, 50%. That's what you've got to be looking. Win 80% of your games at home, 50% on the road. You're going to be there or thereabouts when the playoffs roll around.
Tika tau e hoa, no reire te iwi, I kōrero a Chris Tupu ki tehi o ngā tau tōhito o te whakataetai whānui, a Tony Ronaldson me ona whakaro mo tēnei kapa Perth Wildcats.
They've won 3 straight. You're no stranger to this Perth outfit and the way they like to play. You've looked at the video. What are the strengths of their play?
Well, they're definitely their defensive pressure. I think they're only giving up 90-odd points a game, which is pretty good. That's something that we're going to have to combat. We're pretty good offensively against teams that let us execute and do what we want, but against the pressure teams, it's a challenge, and that'll be a big one for us tonight. They're a big lineup. They start Redditch, who's 6'7", then you got Knight and Loughton, who are all both 6'10" as well, but they're mobile. They're not just paint players. They get out, they run the floor, they set good screens. They've got a good Hinson's sort of backed up or come in this year and running a bit more of a point guard role than he was last year when he was West Sydney. Not as much scoring, but they've got all of it covered, and so it's going to be a good challenge.
And coming back home after 1-1 on the road, you know, you've got to feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, we love playing here, and this is what it's about. You've got to win all your home games. The Wildcats, they when they play in Perth, they always are tough and they always win their home games. And any good team, Melbourne, any of those teams that are going to be vying for a championship are going to win their home games no matter who they're playing. So it's an important one for us.
Good luck tonight, Tony, and again, congratulations on 412 games.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers, mate. Awesome, boy.
Well, obviously, my mate Chris Tupu didn't make school C maths, because it's not 412, it's 612. That's the record that he's equaled Andrew Gaze, and that's the most games played by a player in the NBL. Only 200 off, bro. Engari, kia tatui nai ki te kapa Perth Wildcats me tō rātou rangatira a Sean Redditch.
Sean, how's the new coach Connor Henry going, and did he change the whole system for you guys?
No, I think he kept a lot of what had worked for us in the past years, and but he brought in some new stuff, and brought a couple new coaches in, and so just giving us a lot of energy, and giving us a lot of confidence out there on the floor, and I think it's starting to show the last couple games.
Do you feel like going into this game, from what you've seen, that you guys have an advantage in the paint?
I mean, I think for the most part, against most teams, we have an advantage. We play big, and you know, that's definitely an emphasis every time we step on the floor. So, you know, we try and take advantage of the mismatches of where we can get them, and you know, it's something that this team's kind of been built around the last couple of years, and you know, I think we're starting to figure it out now and playing inside out, and it's getting us a lot of easy baskets out on the offensive end now.
With the demise of Singapore, obviously Ben Knight comes in and he's been putting up some numbers for you. Very experienced player. You've got to be happy having him alongside you.
Oh, he's been huge. I mean, we've surely missed Paul Rogers so far, and you know, to have that experience and that, you know, he just works extremely hard, and we know we can count on him every night to come out and produce. So he's been valuable for us, and you know, he's really played well and stepped up in a leadership role the last couple of games, and you know, we're excited about you know, where we're going right now.
Well, good luck tonight. Thanks for talking to us, Sean.
All right, thanks.
Koena, Sean Reddish, te hau tipo about the Cup of Perth Wildcats. As we've seen throughout the opening part of this 2008-09 season of the New Zealand Breakers, Chris, it seems as though that they do struggle a little bit with dominant players down in the low post. Sean Reddish is one, but they've got about 4 or 5 guys who can get the job done down low. Can they contain them?
I think they can. I think the Breakers are going to have their hands full. There's no doubt about that. I think Tim Berendorf is going to have some minutes down there. Dylan Boucher is going to be used to try and you know, negate the big men of the Perth team. I think they're also going to have to throw some double teams. For me, the key is how they rotate out of those double teams and get back out on their shooters, because they do have some guards that can fill it up as well.
Ai te katawe whara koe nei te tukinga ki Wanganui, te Cup of Breakers, me te Cup of Wildcats, 2 top 6 teams going at it at the NSEC right here on Māori television. And there we do not go away. Tip-off is right after the break.
Passion will go a long way. Craziness! So that's a big hit. And the Kiwis go.
Doing it our way, keeping it Kiwi. That's why we've got a bank and a rail system we all own again. And that's why we've got a strong plan to weather the global economic storm, while National has none. It's about New Zealandness, who's being straight up and who isn't. Our actions versus their words. This country has a spirit that under Labour is not for sale.
With Freeview, you can enjoy your favourite programs in crystal clear digital quality for free.
Ben Mitchell. Selena Jet Li.
Guess we all connected, huh?
You need to undergo a grand transformation before we meet my parents.
What? Auntie Kahu is now in town.
Love has no language.
E whakapiripiri ana māua ki te hapu o Ngāti Awa ki te kōkiri I te kaupapa tāhua nei.
While some are doing the hard yards, others are enjoying this too much.
Check it out. This is GMX all the way.
This is Joy's online DIY.
So it's payback.
The man who is completely invincible does have an Achilles heel, and it is height.
I don't want to do this.
Don't you be the first to break.
Marae DIY, Sunday at 8 on Māori television.
E rauranga tira mā tēnā no koutou ko hoki mai kia whakaata Māori tēnei te tūranga waiwai pūtū kohu o Aotearoa. Ladies and gentlemen, great to have you back. Round 7 action, big game here at the NSEC. The Breakers taking on an informed and very, very talented, very big as well, Perth Wildcats team. As we have a look now at the Perth Wildcats starting 5.
Well, Peter Crawford, he's going to get the job on Kirk Penny tonight. Darnell Hinson, we see there, he's moved across from West Sydney Razorbacks. He's starting to feel at home here at Perth. Ben Knight, Alex Loughton and Sean Redditch.
Of course, adding on to those 2 away wins that they've picked up on the road. It's a fantastic result for the Perth Wildcats as they beat the Hawks, the 36ers, sorry, and the Adelaide Crocs, but they comes for Crocodiles, but they've also picked up a win against the Wollongong Hawks, so that makes it 3 in a row as we look now at the Breakers starting 5.
Well, Tony Ronaldson, there we go, 612 games tonight, thanks to Yarahi. Oscar Foreman, he had a great first game on the road trip. Kirk Penny still shooting very, very hot and leading the league in scoring. Rick Rickett, he's going to have a big job with the big guys from Perth tonight. And of course, CJ Bruton, my pick as the hottest player in the league at the moment.
Look, I don't think there'll be too many people that disagree with you there, Chris. CJ has been doing an outstanding job at point guard for the Breakers team. Alan Gooden, Tim Brown, Gavin Few. The referees, Kai Wawao mo tēnei pakanga. O ta tapai ti naine, Ben Knight, Rick Rickett, tipping off. The Perth Wildcats picking up first position with the ball.
Well, there we go, the man of the moment. Great steal there from CJ Bruton.
CJ doing a fantastic job at both ends of the court. You've seen there's first steal. Foreman gives it off. CJ with Rick Rickett hustling away, dishes it off to Penny, pulls up at the 14-footer. It's a bit long. Redditch collects his first rebound of the game.
One of the things that, you know, Ronaldson didn't mention, their big men are quite versatile. They can put the ball to the floor.
Ooh, Darnell Hinson gets the scoring off. Open three-point shot. Not really noted as a three-point shooter. No, more so, I guess, in the mold of your man, Corey Homicide Williams, but it displays that, you know, when left with any type of opportunity, he can get it done from the three-point line.
Well, he's a big-time player, Darnell Hinson, and he's got a big job marking CJ Bruton. That's going to be a fantastic matchup there in the point guard position as Tony Ronaldson just loses the handle there. But Darnell's an explosive player. West Sydney Razorbacks last year under Rob Beveridge, and they wanted him back. But, you know, the lure from Perth was too much for them, for Darnell, and he ended up going out west.
Doing a mighty fine job there for Western Australia. Sean Redditch, that's one of 1,000 moves that he has down low. Very, very talented player. Hinson again at the three-point line. Fakes. Kirk Penny covering it. Alex Loughton pulls up, rims out, Rickett with the rebound.
Important for the Breakers to try and win the battle of the boards. As big as this Perth team is, they've got to make sure they keep guys going to the offensive boards and clean their own glass down the other end.
Fantastic defensive effort by a whole bunch of Perth Wildcats there. Really troubling Tony Ronaldson. Shouldn't be a surprise because they lead the league in steals, getting over 8 a game as Redditch hits his second bucket.
Not a good sign early on. Redditch too easy inside, really.
So just like that, the Perth Wildcats open up a 7-zip lead. 9:39 in the first quarter. Rickett. Tough move, but it's a wayward shot. Doesn't get the call.
One of the things this Perth team is known for is their physical play. They're a physical team. They like to get after it defensively, holding teams to just 91 points a game.
Wildcats now. Chance for defense goes up. Breakers now settles for a 15-foot jump in. Shot.
Well, we could see an early timeout from Lemanis. 9-0 run to start the ball game for the visitors. And Loughton on screen there. He's able to put the ball on the floor. 6'10". Big player.
That's a couple of tough assignments there, Loughton and Redditch, because Redditch, again, is a guy who can post up and he can beat big guys off the dribble. Oscar Foreman is assigned to that task as Ronaldson goes down low. Finds CJ posting up, spin move, another tough shot. Perth Wildcats doing a great job limiting the Breakers' shot selection. CJ Bruton collects his second steal of the game.
Just straight hustle there.
CJ's had enough of that. He charges straight to the hoop, picks up the foul, go to the line for 2.
Well, that's leadership. Leading from the front, CJ Bruton. Thought he was fouled down one end, lost possession, hustled down, ran that ball down, got a steal off Ben Knight and came straight back and attacked Peter Crawford. One of the smartest point guards in the league, if not the smartest.
CJ, of course, a 2-time champion in this league. I was having a look at the analysis between the comparisons with him and Darnell Hinton. Corey Homicide Williams comes into the fray as well. You have to say that they're probably the 3 top point guards in the league. But it's a toss-up. CJ at the moment, his stats and also the record of the Breakers would suggest that he's #1 in that position right now.
Well, you know, let's look at his numbers. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists a game. You know, that's fantastic from the point guard.
Darnell Hinton, well, he's shown no respect to the #1 guy in the position at the moment. 5 points, leads all scorers.
Keep your eyes on that battle with the point guard. It's going to be a beauty tonight.
Kirk finds Oscar in the corner, hits the 3.
Well, Oscar leads the league in three-point percentage, 51% from beyond the arc. Fantastic shooting, and he's having another great start to the season.
Good vision there by Darnell Hinton with the fake and dishes it off for the easy bucket. So the Breakers now back on the offensive end. Penny finds himself wide open, runs off a screen, and he heads it back-to-back trips for the Breakers.
Well, Crawford, the man marking Penny, he's going to be running off so many screens tonight.
Peter Crawford charges his way, gets a good shot off but can't convert. Ronaldson with the rebound. Penny now again splits the defenders, almost turns it over but regathers. He finds Oscar again open. Oscar dishes it off to Rick Rickett, comes off Gavin Fuse.
Well, I mean, from where I'm sitting, that definitely came off Rick Rickett's foot. The pass came from Foreman. Rickett got the ball slapped out of his hand, and it bounced onto his foot and then out of bounds. I don't know what Gavin was watching, but that was definitely Perth ball. Let's have a look at the replay. There's Oscar. There's the ball. There it goes down. Oh, I'm corrected. I guess he was last to touch it.
Quick hands there by Dylan Boucher, striking the ball away from Alex Loughton, but ball goes out, so the Wildcats will get possession, but the Breakers have done a good job in the last couple of minutes, pulling back, which was a 9-0 lead, 13-8 now. Thanks to back-to-back threes from Kirk Penny and also Oscar Foreman. Sean Redditch gets the balls taken away by the hustler. Dylan Boucher going coast to coast. Doesn't fall, but he gets the foul.
Just straight energy. Anytime you got a player like that sitting on your bench, you just put him in and away he goes.
And he's an ever-ready battery.
There's the great help from him. Good steal, clean steal. Puts the ball to the floor and then attacks the big guys.
So quick substitutions made by Andre Lamanis as Dylan Boucher, also Paulie Henner, they join him on court, off the bench. CJ Britt is being substituted. It doesn't appear that he's sitting at the bench at the moment, so it'll be interesting just to see what developments come. There's Boucher, 1 of 2 from the line. Crawford. It's held up. Middle of the key, gives it off to Darnell Hinton with the mismatch. Dribbles, dishes it off to Loughton. Good shot, good pass, great play by the Perth Wildcats.
What an assist there, and what a move Darnell Hinton put on Oscar Foreman. Great handles there.
Penny. Again, Peter Crawford is a fantastic defender. Making tough work of that shot. Boucher gets called for a foul.
Tim Brown saw Boucher come flying and obviously saw some contact. Here's Hinson. Well, he looks like he got a lot of ball to me. It looked pretty clean.
Like a lot of leather. Do they actually have leather balls? And the balls are rubber.
That's full leather. Yep, full leather ball. Some say looks like Mike Tyson. You see a bit of a resemblance there, Tiana.
It's not far off. He's pretty tough like him on the court. Perth Wildcats called in a couple of substitutions.
Interesting sub here, Luke Kendall. A late pickup for the Perth Wildcats, and what a pickup that was. He's been sitting at home in Sydney, and when the Sydney team folded, he was left without a team, as we see a great pass. Alley-oop play for Oscar Foreman. Pass from Boucher.
Great play by the two forwards of the Breakers. Foreman now with 5 points. Offensive foul to the Perth Wildcats. So the Breakers will pick up the ball. Showing a bit of their nouns at the defensive end. It shouldn't be any surprise that we've seen a lot of slap-wise and a lot of the Perth Wildcats forcing the Breakers into tough shots, but they're the second best defensive team in the league.
Well, we've seen a steal off a Kirk Penny shot, and they are tough defensively. As we've said, they are physical. They like to get after it. They've got some big bodies.
He finds Phil Jones off the run. Tough jump shot even for Phil. Springs out. Loudon calling for the ball, backdoor play for Luke Kendall. Off cue with the layup. So the Breakers quickly up the other end of the court. Hairnutty with the spin. Falls for gets called for traveling.
Yep. Well, CJ's made his way back to the bench, so that's a good sign that he's sitting back there. And here we see Paul Henardi just traveling there, taking too many steps. 2 is what you're allowed on the way to the basket when you're doing a layup or passing off.
Kendall now. Stephen Wayne has been given some starting spots, but no need for any help. Darnell Hinson has taken over the show. 10 points early in the first quarter.
Has not missed in the ball game so far, Darnell Hinson.
Jones now taking it straight to the rack.
You got to love the versatility of a play like Phil Jones. Deadly from outside. Very, very good in between and great going to the basket.
And another forced turnover by the Breakers. Paulie Hairnutty picking up the steal. They settle it down. Finds Foreman open again. Foreman hits a three.
Well, he continues to hit from downtown, does Oscar Foreman. 8 points in the ball game. Breakers within 4.
Breakers doing a fantastic job. Transition offense. Finding the open man and going straight to their strength, which is their three-point shooting. Redditch now. Quick one step, collects the offensive board. Takes a dive, but keeps the ball alive for his team. Luke Kendall, very tall player, but can handle the film.
Oh, he's feeling it. He's in the zone right now, Darnell Hinson. Make that 12 points in the ball game.
Darnell Hinson, since he's arrived here at the Perth Wildcats, has kind of taken a back seat when it comes to the scoring, only averaging 12.6 points per game, which is a bit low for his standard, but when he's hot, he's hot. Jones with the fake, dishes it off to Boucher with the 15-foot off the glass. Doesn't go, so the ball stays with the Perth Wildcats. 22-16, 2:55 left in the first quarter.
Well, Hinson, CJ Bruton checks back into the ball game, and looks as though they're running a little bit of zone now. zone action coming from the Breakers.
Darnell Hinson sees the mismatch, kicks it back out to Isaiah Victor, who's checked in. Open jump shot again. Darnell Hinson doing a great job at finding the open player.
That's what you want from a point guard. It's about getting the ball to the right people at the right time.
Jones with a tough floater. .24-17 now. Kendall takes it to the rack himself. Picks up the foul. Three-point play for Luke Kendall.
Well, he's finding his feet at his new club. Connor Henry said in the paper he came into the Perth camp a little bit out of shape, but he's definitely getting back to where he was last year.
Tika taue wai tēnei waka te tiro atu. Ki te kupu Māori, ki te kupu koe tūkohu. Whāngai, assist every quarter. We'll bring you a few Māori word, basketball related, and this quarter is whāngai assist. Just my interest, mate, how much assist did you average over your career?
I was probably known more for shooting than passing off. I'll be honest with you, Charlie.
Greedy guy.
Maybe 2 or 3.
You were a bit hungry, were you?
I always thought I was open. I always, had confidence. I'm going to knock that shot down.
As does Kirk Penny, who leads the league in scoring. He's fouled. Go to the line. 3 points already in the game for Kirk. Rare miss from the free throw line. One of the best in the business. Hits the second, so 1 of 2. Takes him up to 4 for the game. Joined with Phil Jones on 4 points. Oscar Foreman leads the Breakers in scoring. And there's CJ Bruton picking the pocket. Luke Kendall. He'll draw another foul. CJ, 3 steals in the first quarter.
Well, that was great defense. He just picked Luke Kendall's pocket big time. The Moppets had to rush to get out of the way. Here's the little, you can't turn your back, especially not on a defender like CJ. Stands him up for a minute, puts the pedal down, draws the foul. Great play from CJ.
Talking about Kirk Penny's accuracy at the free throw line. Well, there is none better than this man, CJ Bruton. 91.2% from the line over the course of the season, and he keeps it, his tally for today, at 100%. CJ with 4 points, 26-21 with 1:40 left on the clock. Kendall. Lines pump fake, back at the 3-point line. Good defense by Kirk Penny, but a miracle shot. Victor picks up the turnover, turned over again. To and fro, and Phil Jones thinks it.
Well, he's playing with a lot of confidence, Phil Jones, and so he should be. He's shooting the ball very, very well. Another triple for him. For the season, he's around about 50%. 7 points in the ball game for him.
Wildcats, they let off their own 3, and that's a big shot. Massive shot. Stephen Way, rookie season with the Perth Wildcats, has been getting a bit of a start on occasions. Mixing it up with him and Peter Crawford at the starting shooting guard spot.
Yeah, player to watch out for, Stephen Way. 1.5 years at the University of Utah in America. Tough school.
Penny showing everyone how it's done at the top of the key, rolling off another one of those screens. So that's 7 for Penny. 20 seconds left on the clock. 31-27 to the Wildcats. Want to set up for the last scoring position. Victor. Fadeaway jumper. Off cue, but great offensive board. It's that man again, Stephen Way. 5 seconds left. Mix up at midcourt. Wildcats will get another opportunity, but it's off. But the Perth Wildcats, the visitors, were pretty happy with their first quarter effort, going into the first break ahead 33-27 over the Breakers. And then we kia mautonu mai. Ata tiro kia te wahanga tuarua I muri tonu ngā whakatairanga e whai ake.
Whakatau hea mai kia Aotearoa whānui o koutou painga.
Why you would choose a song by a vocal harmony group for a solo performance.
So baby, open up your heart.
You did get a little bit lost in that bridge. I think you overcooked it a little bit.
Māori Oke tomorrow 8:30 on Māori Television.
I think I liked it.
Harvey Norman's Price Demolition Sale. 5-day computer clearance is on now. Prices have been demolished right across our huge range of computers and notebooks. We've destroyed the prices, but the technology's top-notch. HP, Compaq, Acer, Toshiba and Asus. All our current computer stocks must be cleared. Plus, take advantage of our huge finance offer to ease the squeeze. Do not shop anywhere else. Harvey Norman's Price Demolition Sale. 5-day computer clearance is on now. Rush in and join the carnage. Must end Monday.
Okay, you can play defense now, all right? The back 30's been good when we've got that set, but we've got to stay stuck in. You've got to be active off the ball on the defensive end. You've got to be prepared to rotate, you've got to come off the line. And offensively, you've just got to be strong with the ball. We can't turn it over. Once we execute something, we're in good shape. This one here shakes up. Shakes up here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, really good points there from Coach Lemanis. Just some key things there I picked up. Active off the ball. Anytime they've got a strong inside presence, you can't just rely on one-on-one coverage. You've got to have people like Boucher stepping in there, getting their hands busy, the guards dropping down, getting those steals like CJ, and then they've got to be strong with the ball down the other end. They can't be coughing it up. A couple of errant passes and turnovers, and the Wildcats have converted at the other end, so got to take care of the rock.
CJ now has been doing his best to upset the flow of the break of the Wildcats, sorry. With 4 steals, but early turnover, miscued pass. Heading towards the direction of Tony Ronaldson. The 4 steals in the game, CJ. Wildcats now looking to extend their early lead, 33-27. Must have fumbled. Way again for 3. Couple of hits of the rim, but it bounces out. Penny bringing it up the other end. Penny, spin move, finds Jones. Tim Berendorf can't convert the... Can't convert the easy layup.
You got it. You got to make those. That was a sitter for Berendorf. He's got to put those away.
Something fine from Rice.
Opportunities don't really come that easy against the Perth Wildcats, especially as we talked about at the beginning of this game. All the tall timber they have, very good defensive side. The second best in the competition. Only allowing 91.5 points per game. Victor, 2 giant steps and then a swooping layup.
Well, how about having someone like Isaiah Victor on the bench?
The bench.
I mean, this guy played with Sydney under Brian Goorjian last year, and again, he came off the bench, but he's a great player and starting most teams around the league.
Jones gets bumped on the dribble, so he'll pick up a foul. So big caught on Isaiah Victor.
Yeah, guys, come on.
So 35-27 now. Rick Rickett, Oscar Foreman check back in for Phil Jones and Tim Berendorf.
Cancel basket over here, guys.
Of course, the Perth Wildcats didn't have a very good start to the season. They lost their first game against the South Dragons. But probably the biggest win of the season so far for Perth was their win in Melbourne against the Tigers. In fact, that's the only time the Tigers have lost, and their recent win against the Townsville Crocodiles, again, a very talented team. Their only loss at home at the hands of the Perth Wildcats.
Well, this is a talented Perth side as we see Ben Knight, nice little rolling hook shot and draws a foul. This is playing without their captain from last year, Paul Rogers. So they've still got another 7-footer to add.
Sport for choice when it comes to the big men, and all of them very, very talented. If anything, Paul Rogers is probably their pure centre.
Well, Oscar really not big enough to mark someone like Ben Knight down in that low block. He is a very strong and smart player, Ben Knight.
Right hand there. Just got to be smart what we're doing, make sure they have to make tough shots. Just relax now. Offensively, all right, we've had 8 turnovers. That's part of the story of the game. So keep getting your flow. We've got the secondary, get it on, all right? Run some fours as well. Be ready for the press here. Make sure Kirky start deep and then come back. All right, if there's any issues, just get over, let everyone get, and then you can get to a 2-shake. No problems at all from there, okay? This time down, let's get 4. Yeah, let's just go to a 4. All right, let's just go to a 4 from this. Get the on ball, get it on, get our weak side action, either hand off or back door. Just relax and play basketball here. All right, hey, keep your heads up and play. Go. 1, 2, 3,
Well, again, the turnovers are hurting this Breakers side, as we heard Coach Lamanis talk about taking care of the ball.
Well, over the course of this season, the Breakers give away the fewest turnovers of all 10 teams in the league. Pretty good stat reading at 13.7 turnovers per game, but already 10:20 left in the second quarter. They've already given away 8. Ben Knight can't convert the 3-point play. But for the first time in the game, Perth Wildcats open up a double-digit lead. They're up by 10. Penny, double team. And it works. Another ball stripped away from the hands of Tony Ronaldson. Victor. Ball rotation off to Kendall now. Crawford steadies the ship. Off to Kendall. Crawford throws up a 3, and it's right in the face of Kirk Penny. Perth Wildcats now feeling it from the 3-point line.
Well, Crawford, he's a shooter. Most threes last year for the Perth team.
Another bumble and a mistake by the Breakers. That's turnover number 10. 4 of those are attributed to Tony Ronaldson and 3 to Kirk Penny. So 2 of the most experienced players, well, in fact, the most experienced player in the whole competition, are doing a good job securing the ball.
Great, yeah. Go ahead, Tiarahi.
I was just going to say exactly what you said, mate. Great hustle.
NFL styles. Between the legs is Benny Knight. Easiest of 2 points inside the paint within 3 feet. It's got to be a concern for the Breakers team at the moment.
6 points for Ben Knight now, and they open up a 15-point lead. Still plenty of time left in the second quarter. Rickett gets double teamed. Tough shot again. Great defense by the Wildcats. Redditch leads the fast break. Goes as it alone. Redditch travels.
Well, lucky call for the Breakers. 42 points already. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. There's the travel there from Redditch, just taking 3 steps as opposed to the 2. And the defensive pressure starting to have an effect on the Breakers.
The hand on him. We'll take it.
Foul called on Darnell Henson.
Take it. 11.
Handshake looks as though the call on CJ
11
Bruton.
white.
So if there's any good news to hand for the Breakers fans anyway, is that that's 2 fouls on Henson to go along with his 12 points. He hasn't missed the shot just yet. The Mike Tyson looking to knock out the Breakers. Rickett gets on the score sheet.
Nice controlled left-handed hook there from Rick Rickett.
Hands by Boucher. Crawford regathers it, throws up another three. Peter Crawford, that was a tough shot over Oscar Foreman.
Make that 5 from 8 from deep for the Perth team.
6 points in the game. Crawford. Foreman trying to get back his own, but Boucher steals the ball and converts the easy layup. Great play by the hustler.
Miraculous play from Boucher.
14-point difference now. Boucher's first points of the game. Redditch. Explosive first step for a big man. Ball gets knocked out, but it'll stay with the Perth Wildcats.
Redditch puts it to the floor, as most of the Perth Wildcats big men are able to do, and causing trouble for the defenders marking those players.
Hinson, pump fake on the three. Loudon. Redditch, oh, explosive. Back to the basket, just blows straight past Oscar Foreman.
Well, we talked about Corey Homicide Williams in our TV studio last week about how many times he gets to the line, but it's the aggressive play of Redditch which sees him almost getting to the line as many times as Homicide. And again, that time, Redditch very, very aggressive.
Boucher collecting ball off a nice pass by Rick Rickett. So the lead remains 14. That's 4 points for Dylan. Sorry, correction, 5 points. One free throw. Crawford, deep two, it's long. CJ's been great on defense. Hasn't really injected himself yet on the offensive end. Foreman lines up the three. Rims out. Hinson down. The orders, Sean Redditch. He's got 6 points in the game. Again. Fakes him out but loses control of the ball. Boucher now. Bounce pass. Flicks it off to Rick Rickett. 3-point play.
Credit that to the heads-up play from Dylan Boucher. Once again, providing the spark. A much-needed spark for this Breakers side, who are in a bit of a hole.
Now the Perth Wildcats 12-point lead right now as timeout's called. The Perth Wildcats not wanting to give the Breakers any opportunity to get the momentum as Rick Rickett don't want to get him heated up. Once he starts doing that, he starts pulling in the crowd and his teammates. Just a force of enthusiasm, this Breakers team. Kia whakarongo ake i nai nei ki ngā kōrero ki ngā tohutohu te kapa Perth Wildcats.
Remember the basic stuff, right? Spots, set your man up, good solid screens, come catch the ball, never have to be in a hurry, right? If they take something away, look at the shot clock before you make a drive, right? We can always throw and go into a fist, all right? Just take your time. You're going to get great shots, all right? Now make a shot here, get your fire, all right, let's fire, and roll right into a fist. Roll right into a fist. Set it up like you're going to do the wide pin down, but then roll right into a fist, share the ball. Let's go, everybody rebound.
Well, I think one of the messages there I got from that timeout was patience. When you're up by quite a few points early in the ball game, it's important that you keep playing, but that you also try and milk that lead and make the most of each possession. And that fist that he's talking about, I'm pretty sure is an on-ball screen where they'll, look to set a screen, and the big guy will set a screen on a guard using that screen and probably diving to the basket.
Rick Rickett will go to the line and shoot the bonus. Of course, Chris Tipu, current Nelson Giants coach in the New Zealand NBL, also former Tall Black. Rickett converts the three-point play, that's 5. points for Rick to go along with his 4 defensive rebounds. Pressure shown by CJ Brookie. Trying to stick close to Hinson. He's been on fire first half. Nice crossover dribble. Beautiful dish. Sean Reddish collecting his 8th point.
Easiest of point made so easy from a beautiful pass there from Darnell Hinson.
You ran up and you're still moving. Foul is 7, block.
And Alan Godden has called Rick Rickett for a blocking foul. He said he was still moving. You got to be standing still when you're trying to get a charging foul on the offensive player. And it was quite clear that he told Rickett he was still moving.
Hinson now has been causing all sorts of mayhem for the Breakers. Now back to the basket, doesn't convert that shot. It's well short. Cross-course pass almost picked off by Crawford, but Paulie Henare now with the ball. Boucher. No way through there, so he gives it back to the point guard. Nice crossover dribble himself, shot winding down, but Alex Loughton sticks out this tall mid to block. Set up the play for Sean Redditch. The Wildcats running wild here at the NSEC. Extend to a 15-point lead.
Well, make that 11 turnovers now for the Breakers.
Nakuina Kitamato Kupu.2 Kohu Aro. Block shot is our basketball word for the second quarter. Alex Loughton doing a great job getting a good Aro.
11.
Foul is called on 11.
Koenei te Aro, toru atu te ringa Maui o te tangata raka. Patu atu te pauru. Nā tērā I hanga te koura. Tōna hoa. Sean Redditch. Darnell Hinson now checks out of the game on his 3rd foul. Luke Kendall comes back in.
Well, handy sub. They don't really lose much there. Kendall played some good minutes in that first quarter.
Foreman throws it up. No good from the corner. Redditch collects another board. Bounce pass. Then Loughton again. Too many easy opportunities for the Perth Wildcats.
Well, they've played 11 games, and it looks like a team that's starting to find their straps after the first third of the season's completed, as Rick Rickett, the Energizer Bunny, chases his own board down.
Oh, football. Kickball, sorry. Dylan Belcher, so the shot clock will restart. Perth Wildcats retain the ball. Great work by Rick Rickett. Seems though his first shot was partially blocked, but he followed it up. But for a well-deserved rest, checks out of the game with 7 points, 5 boards. It's been busy in this first half. .350 left on the clock in the second quarter. Perth Wildcats have done a great job finding the open man, and the open man converting the shot. Nice hook by Alex Loughton.
Well, Loughton, Knight and Redditch all having their way far too easily in the paint.
Foreman trying to shake Redditch. No good. Ronaldson spots up for the 3-point shot. It's short. Loughton collects the boards. Kendall pushing the ball up the court. The offensive foul on Sean Redditch.
Foul is called on 42, Sean Redditch. Timeout is called. Another timeout with Capri Moro.
Timeout to the Breakers, who need a bit of a kōrero. Me wānanga. Kei te hatia tō tātou waka as we have a look at Sean Redditch. Rightly so, still moving, trying to get in the path of Paul Henare.
We've got to get right behind the Breakers.
Reira ka paku whakanganga ti mai rua ra ka ata wānanga I te kaupapa kai mua I te aroaru.
Bulldozing us whenever they want to, just catch it here, fucking run over the top of us and get out of the way. We got some fouls to give, fucking stand up.
We're in an ideal situation, we got fouls to give, but we're giving up layups. Fucking put someone on the ass.
Stand up, make a statement about what we're fucking about. Be a little bit fucking aggro about what's going on. Get into it, push them off the block and push them out. If they try to get you going to the ground, stand there, take a grab and smack them and put them on the ground one time. Don't give up another fucking defensive transition layup for the rest of this half, all right? When we shoot it, we need two guys. You're crashing, everyone else is getting back. Talk, match up, talk that early on, ball switch if you need to, but fucking play a little bit of physicality at the defensive end, all right? Offensively, let's get back. Secondary's good work, good action for us, but we're going to get the timing. Like the last time we made the post hit, and the guard was already out here. All right, get deep in the corner, post hit, work down screen, get the timing, you can curl in the corner and keep going at the rim. Here we go, come on. 1, 2, 3.
Well, match the physical play amongst other words that were said in that timeout, and really that's what needs to be said. This Perth team is just having their way at both ends of the floor and pushing this Breakers side around. They have to respond, and they have to respond now.
Well, you can sense the frustration in Andre Lamanis and also the players at the defensive end is that they're getting bulldozed, they're getting bullied around by this Perth Wildcats team, so they need to make, exactly right, Chris, stand up and make a statement.
Well, I always thought, as a coach, whoever is the aggressor in a basketball game, whoever's been the most aggressive, whether it be at the offensive or defensive end, is going to have the advantage. And we're seeing an aggressive Perth team that's come into the Breakers' home court and stamped that aggressive feature on the ball game. And it's showing. Breakers are down in a number of areas.
Of course, I've talked about the 2 road wins for the Perth Wildcats. Phil Jones hits 2 of 2 from the free throw line. You have a look at their last 10 games. Perth Wildcats versus the Breakers, they've won 9. 9 of the last 10 against the Breakers. So coming into the NSEC, you know, they probably think that we've got the wood on these guys. Ben Knight. Off. Crawford finds himself open for another 3. That's his 3rd tray of the game. 9 points for Peter Crawford.
Well, it didn't look like missing. He's got a stroke going, does Peter Crawford. 6 of 9 from beyond the arc now for the Wildcats.
That's a fantastic percentage for the Wildcats. They only average around the mid-30s, which isn't too bad, but when you start hitting 67% of your shots from the 3-point line, then you're really doing some damage.
Well, the Breakers aren't far behind in that area. 5 of 9 from the tray line, but they've got 10 turnovers to go against Perth's 7 turnovers.
Donaldson, good position down low. The big man gets the layup and gets the foul.
Was the Bear going to spark a revival? Let's hope so. Nice body position, as he always does and has done over his 612 games. He uses that big body to great effect.
He's got a big nono on him. Push people around. For our non-Māori speaking audience, nono means backside.
Would you have him in your league team for Huntley, Tiarahi? No?
He'd be a decent second row. I don't know anybody would be able to stop him.
Second rower?
Second row, front row. Just stand there and offload. Dylan Boucher, all over Sean Redditch. Gets the ball away. Victor now picks up, takes a dive. Bit of a nasty fall. So they turn the ball over. Breakers now looking to spark up a bit of a run. Pulling this deficit. It's 15 points now. It's been as high as 17. Actually 18. Ronaldson now. Looking for his cutters. Foul call on Perth Wildcats.
Foul is still on 25 by Isaiah Victor.
Isaiah Victor gets pulled up for his second foul.
Well, here's the feed. Ronaldson looks to make his move. And the smallest of touches there from Isaiah Victor. I think it's a hand check, he's called it. You're allowed your forearm, Tiarahi, but you're not allowed to put your actual hand on the hip of the player. Forearm's okay. Anytime your hand touches with it, which is, I'm pretty sure what that call was.
Kia ora, nua nakua. Wānanga no ngā tīma e rua nei, moi te paunga o te wehenga tuatahi.
ball. All right? Move the ball, dump it in, bring pressure and play. Minute 30. We good. Minute 38 now. You know you're in fire. Get it into move. All right? Try a tooth loosener. Come back. If he's pressuring him, light him up.
Hey, take the 3-point line out of it.
Come on, there we go.
Message there from the Perth Wildcats. Stop the threes. They realised the potential threat. The Breakers had a couple of back-to-back threes. Momentum will quickly shift to their side, so they'll want to maintain this lead heading into the break. 58 to 43. Tony Robinson goes to the line, trying to complete 3 points. The other one way, there's 2 free throws coming up for Tony Ronaldson. Of course, he wasn't in the motion of shooting, but Isaiah Victor got called for the foul. And the team and the Wildcats are in the penalty. 2 for 2. It's 5 points now for Ronaldson in the game. Full court pressure coming from the Breakers, but they get pinged for a foul. A little bit too aggressive there, Chris.
Foul is called on 32 for Genade, his first.
From this Perth side.
So they've still got one more foul to get one team foul before they're in the penalty. Staunching up this defense with 1:33 left on the clock. Again, full court press. Kendall has it. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Foreman, good defensive pressure, picks up the ball. Breakers now looking for any opportunity to try and claw their way back into this game. Jones running off a screen, finds himself in open space, high layup. No good, but there's your man, Dylan Boucher, picking up the scraps.
Well, great extra possession there, and Tony Ronaldson has to let it fly from deep.
Unfortunately, Dylan Boucher did all the hard work, but that was pretty poor recognition of the clock. Ran out of time, and Ronaldson had to throw up a prayer.
More pressure coming here from the Breakers.
Redditch crosses over the half court and dishes it back to Luke Kendall. Dylan Boucher parks up on the floor, but gets called for the foul. Second foul for Dylan there. Chris, so he gets called for a blocking foul.
That's right. Feet not quite set there. You just see the end of that play. Luke Kendall able to draw the foul. And just feet set, not quite square on, which is what you want when you're trying to pick up a charging foul.
30 seconds left. This first half, Kendall off the glass. Big rebound by Oscar Foreman. The clock winds down to end out the first half. Breakers will look for one more scoring opportunity. Jones with the hand. Puts it back off to Paulie Hannity. 4 seconds left. 3, 2, Ronaldson from the corner. Gets it! Positive end to the first half for the Breakers, but you have a look at that scoreline. There's still a lot of work ahead of them. 58 to 47. Tony Ronaldson, 7 points in the game. The Breakers are led by Phil Jones with 9 leads, all scorers for the Breakers, but on the other side, Darnell Hinson, who had that lightning first quarter, 12 points, 100% from the floor. As the first half ends, 58 to 47. The coaches for the Perth Wildcats walking off the floor. They'll be pretty happy with how things turned out. Early, they did a good job at the defensive end, testing the Breakers. But to get the thoughts of the Breakers camp, Chris Tipu is talking with assistant coach Judd Flavel.
58-47, Judd. It seemed as though you guys struggled with their physical play.
Yeah, we knew that they're a physical team. They do grab and hold a lot. you know, we've got to be patient. We've got to be, you know, they're not going to give up easy baskets, but we've got to stick with our offense, make commitments to screening and getting people open. If they cheat, you know, rectify that. But just take care of the basketball. I think we've been a little bit sloppy and you know, throwing unnecessarily turnovers where, you know, we don't need to.
Turnovers definitely hurt you. So too did easy baskets in the paint. Was that the way you saw it? Is that going to be a concern in the second half?
Yeah, definitely in that first quarter. I think there was way too many easy baskets, you know. They did come out guns blazing, hit their first, you know, 4 or 5 shots. But that's the type of team that they are, you know, they can knock those shots down. They do dominate in the paint against teams. We just got to be more physical. We've got to bring that physicality back to them, you know. We can't stand and let them dictate that. We've got to bring it too.
And bring it too, that's right. I thought they were definitely the aggressors in the second half. I think you've got to switch that around, eh?
That's right, you know, we need guys coming in and ready to play. You know, sometimes the ref's going to give you a call, sometimes not. But we can't, you know, we can't let them dictate what's happening out here. This is our home court. We've got to get after it.
All right, Judd, thanks, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Koe nā ngā whakaro o Judd Flavel te tira o atu ana ki te papatatau. 58 ki te 47 kei runga ke te kapa Perth Wildcats. Kia mau tonu mai ka aro mata wai te wehenga tuatahi o tēnei tukinga.
Passion will go a long way. Craziness! It's a big hit. For the Kiwis,
It's not worth the hassle, eh?
Hey, I'm only making a cuppa.
No, not that. Breastfeeding. Hard to do 6 minutes, let alone 6 months.
Hey, you seen this? I kept it for you.
Boosts baby's immunity. Healthier for mum. Super guy.
It's worth sticking with it, bub. Hey, and we're here for you too.
Pity you can't job share though.
You pity you can't do my housework too. That'd be nice. Stace, hurry up!
Oh, Mama can't have a homework.
On the table.
Give it.
Hey.
Give it.
Hey, you
No.
two.
Hey, look at them. Hey, little bro. You don't start school till next week.
You're okay, Thomas. Good boy.
You start learning from the day you are born.
He kura tangata, he kura whānau.
One of the first things we needed to do was fight to drop those crippling interest rates on credit cards.
A glass of house red, thanks.
I'll get you the good stuff. Then we thought, hell, let's push it. So we came out with a credit card with no account fee. Hence that.
What's the catch?
You got me. You have to use it every 3 months. You're good.
Join the movement for low-cost credit cards. Our way, the Kiwi way.
People are our greatest wealth.
The language has to be excellent, it has to fly across the country, and it has to be Māori.
The Māori Party. You speak, we listen.
We're sorry. The brand new Hyundai i30 is completely sold out in New Zealand. But please don't do anything silly in the meantime because we're just on our way to get some more.
Ända sedan jag blev liten pojke så har jag haft en dröm att skapa musik som kan öppna människors hjärtan. Gröna.
Jaha. Ja, du vet väl att det ingår i tjänsten att leda kören?
Jag frågar mig vad han är ute efter.
Öppna halsen, öppna bröstet.
Här ska vi vara.
As it is in heaven, Sunday at 9.
Wina te heo ngā kurutoru mai Oscar Foreman ngā hi maha ake ngā mea te kapa Perth Wildcats tētake kei mua rātau 58 ki te 47. some of the action from the first half. Between this game, the Breakers and the Wildcats, the visitors up 58-47. Great first half by the visitors on the last leg of their 3-game road trip. They won their first 2. They've done a pretty good job in this first half to skewer the third one, but there is another half to come. So we have a look at the team stats. 58-47, and great field goal percentage there by the Wildcats, both close to the hoop and also from the three-point line, around 67%. Also just a little bit high on the fouls, which sent the Breakers to the line late in both of those quarters, but they've shown their physicality and their capacity to limit the Breakers to good shots. The 10 steals from the Breakers, largely thanks to CJ Bruton, and fairly even on the assist, but it's just been a great shooting display by the Perth Wildcats. Looking back at the track record between these two teams, again, in the last 10 games, the Perth Wildcats have won 9. While with the Breakers only winning the 1 game, and they are looking to extend that streak to make it 10-1. Heoi, ko tētahi tangata, kāre hia tēnā koe te tangata e whakararua nei te kapa Perth Wildcats, te wenga tuatahi koe rā, Dylan Boucher.
Well, Dylan Boucher was everywhere in this first half of basketball, and they really needed his play. He's got a couple of assists to go along with a couple of steals. He was doing everything. There's one of his steals off the inbounds. You just can't relax anytime Dylan Boucher is around. Here he is, another little putback. 5 points for him in this first half, and there he is with yet another steal, another possession for the home side.
Dylan Boucher doing his best to be a nuisance to the Perth Wildcats. 5 points to go along with 2 offensive rebounds, 2 steals and 2 assists, together with the 2 personal fouls. But here's the embodiment of the physical type of play that Andre Lamanis wants to see from his troops. Well, Dylan Boucher, they're doing a good job trying to keep the Breakers close to the Perth Wildcats, but one guy responsible, especially in the first quarter, for blowing out to an early lead. That was their point guard, Darnell Hinson.
Well, if Dylan was a spark plug for the Breakers, then Darnell Hinson was that for his side, the visitors, the Perth Wildcats. And he was good for 12 points in this first half. And he really got this team going, especially in this first quarter. He hit his first 3 shots. He can hit from outside and add in 4 assists. And he had it going for the Perth Wildcats. Here's one of his moves to the basket. Nice little assist there to Isaiah Victor coming off the bench. But it was the point guard's heads-up play that really gave the Perth team their lead in the first half.
Te katau, Chris, te tiroa tuana ki ona te tauranga. 12 points, 100% from three-point territory. In fact, he hasn't missed a shot at all, whether it be a field goal or a free throw to get his 12 points. To go ahead with those 4 assists and the 1 steal, he has got this Wildcats offense humming. Nō reira, koe rā ngā whika mo te hāpe tuatahi ngari e te wiki a mautonu mai ki te wehenga tuarua. As we've seen throughout the course of this season, you cannot write the Breakers off. They have got so much arsenal from their three-point line to claw their way back into this game. But as we've seen also from the Perth Wildcats, tonight they mean business and they want their W. E te wiki a mautonu mai kia whakaata Māori, ka haere tonu te wehenga tuarua, I muri tonu ngā whakatairanga. E whai ake nei.
Passion will go a long way. We are underway. Craziness! And the Kiwis go up!
Who should you vote for on November the 8th? Party vote, Green.
the Takitimu Festival from the 12th to the 16th of November at Waikoko Gardens, Hawke's Bay Showgrounds in Hastings.
Every single Kiwi can feel greatness. All you gotta do is push play. For inspiration, visit our website.
This is greater than anything.
Oh, you just lost yourself a sail, lady.
We promised a Super Gold card. We delivered. The Super Gold card now offers free off-peak travel on public transport, and thousands of business outlets are offering discounts to seniors because of New Zealand First.
Often I'm so immersed in the moment that I forget about all the hard work that got me here. But every day I keep learning something new. It's an ongoing process. My name is Angela Earle. I'm a nurse and a graduate of Wairiki.
Wairiki, your journey to success.
Field goal percentage for this Perth team in the first half. What did you talk about in the locker room about how you're going to try and deal with that?
Yeah, you don't have to be honest, time to figure out as a defensive end that got most of the attention. Obviously 58 points at 67%. It's just an effort thing really, I think. That group that was in there for the last 2.5, 3 minutes, they showed if you're prepared to get into it at the defensive end and talk and rotate and challenge some stuff, that you can get stopped. But prior to that, we just gave them too much easy stuff. We couldn't stop them in trans. And then I think they just out-muscled us. They got get catches wherever they wanted to, deep in the paint and just easy scores, and we did nothing about it. So, you know, we just got to step up with our physicality and give them a little bit back.
Definitely. Any other stats for you that stood out at halftime, or is it really an effort thing mainly?
It's effort, and you know, the other one that's an indicator though, obviously, is the offensive rebounds. We've got something like 16% of the offensive rebounds because no one's going, and again, that's an effort. So we're not getting the board and we're not getting D-trans covered, which is not a good scenario. Good news is we've got 24 minutes to rectify, 11 points, we can get back into it.
Well, good luck in the second half, Andre. Thanks for talking to us.
Come on, Breakers fans! We nā ngā tohu mai te kaiako o te Kappa Breakers a Andre Lamanis. Rua te kaumawha miniti. E tikana kia tukia ke tā rātou kaumata tākaro, kia tūraki I tēnei whairiri mōrearea te kapa Perth Wildcats. Wildcats leading the opening part of this second half, 58-47. Chris, you agree with, you know, it's a pretty simple message. It just wants a little bit more intensity, a little bit more effort at the defensive end. Will that be the cure for the Breakers?
Yeah, there's no doubt, and I would have loved to have been in that changing room. I reckon there was some harsh words spoken from the coach, and fair enough. You know, this side is coming here, the Perth Wildcats, and they've out-muscled this Breakers team, apart from that last couple of minutes that we saw from that team that Andre talked about. But I'm sure he's challenged his team in there, and I'm sure that we're gonna see a fired-up Breakers side come out and play a lot more physical in the second half.
Tika tāu e what? And one other part besides the fantastic basketball action is the Starship Zone. This is where patients from the Starship Hospital get invited to be the VIP guests here at a Breakers game. And it's the Armitage whānau from Waihi. We've got Victoria and Matthew, both suffering from cancer and are patients at the Starship Zone with their mum, Gillian, and Colin. O reira, te whānau Armitage tēnā kua tau. Ngā manu whiri tuārangi mo tēnei pō.
Well, interesting lineup to start the second half. Paul Henardy's in for CJ Bruton. Phil Jones in for Kirk Penny. And Dylan Boucher's in for Rick Rickett. So, interesting second half lineup from Andre Lemanis.
Very interesting, the three strike weapons. Starting the second half, his Loudon's shot is a little long. Tony Ronaldson gets called for the foul off the ball.
Tim Brown calling the Bear for a push-off foul on the rebound.
Crawford. Gives it off to Sean Reddish now. He finds Crawford again, wide open, rims out. Dylan Boucher again. Drops the ball back off to Ronaldson, dishes it off to Henare. Having a look at Kirk Penny and CJ Bruton. Penny's only played 30 minutes in this whole game, which is remarkably low for a guy who usually averages over 40. His shot. He's thrown them up twice now, but the hustler picks up another offensive board. That's his third of the game.
Well, so valuable, our offensive rebounds. And Boucher, you know, lost a big rebounder in Mika Vakona, but Boucher is a very good offensive rebounder. But he's going to get called for the blocking foul on the screen by Gavin Few. And the crowd don't like it. They let the referee hear about it.
Just having a look at that, I've seen Andre Lemanis clapping and smiling. I don't know whether he's laughing at the decision or whether he's genuinely happy that Dylan Boucher put somebody on their backside. Probably a bit of both. Wildcats now with their home-court advantage. Both teams yet to score. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. Ball spills out all over the place. Bit of an arm wrestle going on there. Redditch is clutching at his wrist. Great pain. Paul Henry gets the layup.
Well, here we go. It's all on here. Redditch had a feeling, I think, that he thought he was sure.
I didn't see what happened.
That Phil Jones gave him one in the stomach.
Hey, what happened?
Here we go. Connor Henry, the coach of the Wildcats, he reckons he saw it as well. It was an altercation between the two. I was watching it, and here we see Phil just with his left hand there.
One looked as though they all got tangled up a little bit. Sean Reddish took a dive like he'd been shot in the arm. Look at the other end. That's Paulie Henry converts on the layup with Sean Reddish still at back play.
Well, it's all on here, and there's Crawford and Ronaldson just calming things down. Well, this is going to be an interesting second half.
Getting a little bit of mustard on the hot dog here in the third quarter. It's Redditch. Turns the ball over, Phil Jones. It was interesting. Usually players get hit with technicals pretty easy in basketball, but nobody was handed a foul, largely because the officials didn't see it.
Well, it could have been a lot worse.
Foreman for three. The Breakers start off 5-0 run. In the third quarter, they pull the deficit into within 6.
Oh, close to an 8-second call there. But the defense definitely stepped up by the Breakers.
Henson off the dribble, loses control. Another turnover. 3 early turnovers in the third quarter for the Wildcats. It looks as though that Andre Lemanis' prayers for more effort have been answered in this third quarter. Ronaldson for 3. Doesn't fall, but the whistle blew before then.
I'm not sure.
That's all right, you let it hit out of your hand.
Now they've stopped play in mid-action, and they're going back Now that's an interesting call. And Andre Lemanis is asking Tim Brown at halfway now, why are we stopping play after 10 or 15 seconds and going back to the baseline? I think the timeout.
There they go. Here we go. He was waiting for him in the backcourt. Jones steps straight up.
So yes, we just roll over, and we go 1 to 4 to 3, and we roll right into our push stuff. All right, our pressure release stuff. Stay in. Let's run a curl. All right, we want rim pressure. Don't get caught up in all the emotion. All right, use your brains right here. Be strong. All right? All right? We're in curls right here. Let's go.
Well, it's all about composure now. And you see there, you know, he's mentioned don't get tied up in the emotion. Very easy for Sean Redditch to retaliate, and then he would have been out. He would have been in the locker room watching the game. But you know who went and grabbed him? Dylan Boucher. Dylan Boucher from the Breakers side went and grabbed him and made sure he didn't do anything he'd regret later. And it's going to be a great second half, there's no doubt about that.
The intensity has just lifted about 5 levels here in the third quarter, but good call to Dylan Boucher assessing the situation, that it could have easily escalated into something pretty ugly. Full court press there. The Wildcats with foul call.
Ticky-tack foul, that one.
Restart. Just had the one man on CJ. It's Darnell Hinson. Did a fantastic job in the first quarter, but it's been relatively quiet. Just scoring 12 straight. Things just aren't going the way of Sean Redditch, who picks up another foul.
Well, the Bear just cut straight to the basket and ran right over Redditch. Here we see the Bear. Boom. A little bit of contact, a little bit of Hollywood there, but Gavin Pugh calls the blocking foul.
Good defensive players, recovery for the Wildcats, forcing a turnover from Phil Jones. Redditch dishes it off to Hinson for 3 again. First miss of the night. There's Hinson running the ball down, so they'll collect the offensive board and restart. That was top of the key. It's good.
Well, definitely got range as Alex Loughton. They're going to have to get a hand up on that. Can't give him that open jump shot from the free throw line. He'll knock it down all night.
Goes down to Tony Ronaldson. Gets a nice elbow in the back from Ben Knight. Turn around. Little jump hook. Good offensive board. Rickett, aggressive. Picks up the foul. Appears as if he was in the motion of shooting or trying to get a shot off, so you should go to the line for 2.
Tenacious rebounder, Rick Rickett. Second offensive rebound for the night. And he's spurring his team on. He's one of the emotional leaders in this side.
Rickett misses the first free throw, of course. His year was cut short last season. Bad back problem that saw him end up the second half of the season on the bench. There's another foul call on the Perth Wildcats. Ben Knight. A bit of a tussle with Oscar Foreman.
Well, I think Ben is trying to explain his case here. Here we see on the box out. Bottom left, there we go. And there's the, was no doubt about that. Ben Knight's right hand was wrapped around Oscar's head. That's a foul.
Yeah, you could, yeah, that's a foul. Be it that basketball's a non-contact sport, so yeah, you could consider that a foul. Foreman now. Shot off to Penny. Victor with a little spin around, but he gets called for the travel. So the Breakers' last two offensive positions up the court have just been a little bit jumpy at times. One turnover to Phil, another turnover for Rick Rickett. He's called for the travel. Scanning the court, he takes it himself. Brilliant play by Sean Redditch.
12 points now for Sean Redditch, averaging around about 20 points in the season.
CJ steps back for the three-point shot. It's long. Victor bad. Good work by CJ. Ball's still not in control though. Darnell Hinson collects it. Bad shot, and again the ball's all over the place. CJ takes a big dive. It's getting pretty physical out there.
I thought the World Cup of Rugby League was on the other side of the Tasman, bro. Here we go. It's a lolly scramble between the legs. That's a nutmeg. Hinson comes up with it. Oscar tried to keep it alive and tip it to his teammates.
It's back to the actual Peter Crawford. Had a tough left-hand layup. Cut straight to the hoop. Physical play by the shooting guard. And this team sparked up again, and they pulled that lead back out to 11, 64-53. 6:45 on the clock. The pass that goes out of bounds. Look, Kirk Penny, without a doubt, is right in the hunt for an MVP spot. But if there's one criticism of his game over the last couple of weeks in particular, is that his high turnover rate. As we see again, Penny 4 turnovers in this game. Victor, that trademark 2 giant leaps and then the swooping layup, but it doesn't go.
Well, Isaiah Victor will go right most of the time. Those guys marking Isaiah, got to get onto that. Jump on his right-hand side.
Again, that lead is back out to 11, which was the original lead at the end of the first half. 6:27 on the clock. So Darnell Hinson and Short Redditch leading the Wildcats with 12 points apiece.
He's got to stay solid. You know, we know he's going right. He's going to curl hard off the screen. Go ahead, put your shoulder through and get in front of him. Stop those guys getting to the rim. If there's a penetration, you've got to step across, put your body on the line, and the next guy's got to go. Redditch can't out-hustle us on the floor. You've got to put your body on the line and someone throw an elbow in him one time and throw him to the freaking bleachers. He's doing it to us. All right? Keep being aggressive in the defensive end. Offensively, right? Offensively, you know, your selects can get through some stuff now. Right? Elbows one, next time down, elbows one, right? After that, see, get through some secondary, right? Get through some secondary so that the ball moving downstream and we can get the ball moving that way. Keep being aggressive at the rim. Also throw a 2 down in there somewhere along the line. Hey, we're in the bonus now. Yeah, we're in the bonus. Get to the line. Get to the rim. Defense. 1, 2, 3, defense.
Well, a couple of great messages here from Andre. They got to stay aggressive. That's what's got them back in this ball game. Can't let these guys out hustle. Interesting to see CJ calling the play down the offensive end. That's what you've got to like about the point guard. Leadership. Telling the coach, yeah, I got this one. Let's run this play.
Peter Crawford just making mince work of that perimeter defense, just playing straight past him again. That's back-to-back layups. The number 8. Crawford now with 13 points. He leads all scorers in the game. Quick stamp. Good play. Rick Ricketts.
10 points for Rickett now.
Calling the offensive play for the Perth Wildcats. Gets a mismatch down low. Isaiah Victor with CJ Bruton on his back.
Well, they switched off the on-ball screen, and Victor was left all alone with CJ Bruton on him. Football is called, and they'll reset the 24-second shot clock.
Dylan Boucher. Phil Jones checked back into the game. Sort of the CJ ball. It's tough work down low there, so they give it off to Rickett. Loughton trying to defend him. Isaiah Victor gets in there. Sneaky hand, sneaks the ball away.
Great defense from the Wildcats again.
That shot from way is long.
I've got to say, this is probably the most physical defense that the Breakers have faced at the NSEC, without a doubt in my mind. Tiari, what do you think?
No, I think you did right. It's Kirk Penny. Flex, the assist from Dylan Boucher, you did right. But these guys, they're not mucking around. Any ball that comes in down low, they just collapse on it. It's in double, triple teams at times. Really frustrating the Breakers. Peter Crawford's doing a great job just getting away from his defenders. Getting some good looks at the hoop.
Well, at one end, he's got a tough task guarding Penny, and he's doing very well against him. Penny just with 9 points in the ball game. And at the other end, he's running him off screens and keeping him busy at the defensive end. So he's doing a great job, Crawford. 13 points now in the ball game. To go along with 4 assists.
Chucking a couple of steals as well. He's been a big contributor tonight for the Wildcats. As number 8, Peter Crawford, one of the most experienced guys on their roster. That's 2 free throws, so that lead is back out to 13 now, 70-57. Of course, you have a look at this Perth Wildcats team, and they're probably the poster team of the NBL for consistency. 22 straight seasons they've made the playoffs. 22 years in a row, which is an all-time record. Followed pretty closely by the Melbourne Tigers, I think, on 20 straight. Good rotation there. Phil Jones finding Dylan Boucher with the layup.
Yeah, Tiari, they have a great history, all right, the Perth Wildcats. Won some championships when the great Ricky Grace was playing for them.
Redditch, maybe a backcourt violation, it looks as though.
Half-court violation.
Redditch is not happy, saying that Dylan Boucher touched it.
Give that man a singlet. He wants to get on the court. Coach Connor Henry spent some time in the NBA as a player and played throughout Europe for almost a decade.
Down with you on the baseline.
Very enthusiastic coach. I think he's going to run the referee over for a minute. He's going to get called for a charging foul.
Let's have a look at the play. Dylan Boucher doing a good job harassing Redditch. Well, the motion was there. Didn't look as though he touched the ball.
No, it didn't look like there was any touch.
Well, not according to Coach Henry. Maybe he hacked the ball.
Cancel it.
Nuggets playing another foul. Isaiah Victor, so he gets into foul trouble. That's number 4 on Victor. And now with the Breakers in the penalty, also the Wildcats in the penalty, the Breakers will go to the line on every defensive foul. CJ Bruton, 91.2% for the season. Maintains that high standard. That's 5 from 5. CJ Bruton, though, hasn't had a field goal all game.
Yeah, very unusual. And I think it's time that Bruton and Penny really stepped it up. They're going to try and get this game back in order. They play the most minutes out of this team. They're the most productive players for the Breakers. And at the moment, they're well below their averages.
Crawford, tough three-point shot as the clock winds down. Peter Crawford is on fire.
4 of 7 now. There we see almost 60% from beyond the arc. Giving some of the Breakers, you know, some of their own medicine.
Kirk Penny left all alone, and he makes that three-pointer. We could possibly have a shootout on our hands. Number 6, Kirk Penny. The Breakers, number 8, Peter Crawford for the Wildcats. CJ. Here, the long-range three. It's well short, but Rick is there, collect offensive board. Backs himself in, gets another board. Rickett can't make it the third time, but CJ collects it. Good hustle by the Breakers. CJ again for three-pointer. Short again, but there we go. Offensive boards. Plenty for the Breakers, and then the roll up and under.
Credit that again to the hustler. Number 24, Dylan Boucher. He must have seen that it was going to be an air ball. How smart is Dylan? Runs in there, sees the air ball coming, grabs that rebound and kicks it straight back out to CJ, who makes it happen.
Great awareness, playing good move, but he gets called for the charging foul. Sean Reid automatically puts his hands on his head saying he can't believe it.
Well, the basket was waved off, and Connor Henry, you can see, I don't think he's very happy about that. He wants the basket to count by the sound of it. Here's Stephen Wade to the rack. Dylan Boucher just stood his ground, took the charge, and waved the basket off. And there's Boucher collecting that offensive rebound.
Boucher's just having an outstanding game. He's not the biggest scorer in the team, but 4 offensive boards. That's 4 extra opportunities for his teammates. He's a bit wayward there on that running layup. Perth Wildcats haven't been happy this quarter. And to be fair, look, there's a touching coach decision. He was that far under the hoop. Which is probably why Coach Henry was upset with the call. Credit to Boucher again. He's stifling loud. Crawford spots up again for 3. This one doesn't go. Follow up. Can't convert the offensive board, Alex Loughton, so the Breakers will pull the ball out with 1:16 left on the clock. Trying to pull their team closer. It was 11 difference at the halftime. 73-66 now. Jones with the floater. That's the shot.
Nice little floater there from Phil Jones. 11 points for him now in the ball game. Darnell Hinson looked like he took one on the forehead. Pressure coming again from the Breakers, extending it to full court.
It's the closest the game's been since early in the second quarter. 5-point difference now. Clock winds down to end out the third quarter. It's been an entertaining one. It's been very, very physical. Hinson for 3. That's long. Penny with the board. Emma. Penny attracts a bit of attention. Robinson gets caught. Finds himself open for 3. Ronaldson hits it! That's a big bucket! 17 seconds left on the clock. Kennedy gets called for the foul, but this crowd and this team, more importantly, the Breakers have come to life in the third quarter. Only a 3-point difference.
Tony Ronaldson making the play. 10 points now for him. But what a 3 that was. Momentum back with the Breakers, Tiarahi.
Definitely, they'll be looking to make a stop here. End up the third quarter. Hinson with the drop step. Draws a foul. Ricketts will go to the line. 4.3 seconds left on the clock.
That was called on 7. Rickett is second.
Foul number 2 for Rick.
Darnell Hinson put the afterburners on, managed to keep his pivot foot down and not travel. And then the foul came from Rickett. Darnell Hinson, 12 points in the ball game.
To the Breakers' credit, they've done a good job containing him after the first quarter. You remember, all 12 of those points came in the first. He hasn't scored since until that free throw. Puts him up to 13. Puts the score up to 74-71. Makes them both. Breakers looking for one last shot. They want a good one. Rickett takes the ball up himself. Rickett pulls up a three. He doesn't make it, but the scores end up 75 to 71. I was just about ready to jump out of my chair if Rickett had got that shot. But the Wildcats are ahead, and it is going to be an exciting fourth and final quarter. You won't want to miss it if we stick around for quarters right up after the break.
We train in any type of weather, thunder, rain, doesn't matter. It's pretty full on. Pretty much ends up your life revolves around walking armour.
It's a passion of mine. I like speed. I like doing things fast.
Everything I try and do is like, how can I go faster in this canoe of mine?
Hey, healthy lifestyle. What more can you ask for?
At the end of the day, if we want to produce the goods, we know what we have to do.
Watch this space.
Kai hoi wahine rā horoi hei te whitu.
Oh, mate, I tell you, I love this sport.
Doing it our way, keeping it Kiwi. That's why we've got a bank and a rail system we all own again. And that's why we've got a strong plan to weather the global economic storm, while National has none. It's about New Zealandness, who's being straight up and who isn't. Our actions versus their words. This country has a spirit that under Labour is not for sale.
Whitu te kaumā rima ki te kapa Perth Wildcats. Whitu te kaumā tahi ki te kapa Breakers. Exciting third quarter. It had everything. It almost had a fight. They had plenty of three-point shots, big buckets. Just brought both teams to the final quarter. Only 4 points separate them now. I have to say, Chris, that Andre Lamanis would be stoked with the extra effort shown by his team in the second half.
Well, it was a good fight back. You know, we saw him change that starting lineup to start that third period, and it worked a treat. Dylan Boucher, his energy has been infectious. They've made some three-point shots. CJ and Penny are both starting to look to be a little bit more aggressive, and they have to be. They are the leaders in this team in a number of different categories, and they have to be the ones that, you know, get this team going. Oscar Foreman, he's having a reasonable game, 11 points, but hasn't played a lot. He's starting this fourth period, though. He's another one that's got to get busy.
Well, it's make or break time for both teams. Perth Wildcats are on their way home. After this game, it's been a long road trip for them. Again, 2 wins previous to this. When they head back, they'll take on... They've got a tough schedule ahead, too. They've got the Crocodiles. They've got the Taipans back-to-back. First of all in Perth and then again in Cairns. Then they come back for another hit out against the Breakers, finishing it off with the Melbourne Tigers.
Breakers possession 6 on the shot clock.
Have a look at the schedule for the Breakers, who will have 5 games on the road in the month of November. They've got the Crocs, the 36ers, Tigers, Taipans, and the Blaze. So let's concentrate on here. Darren, don't worry about the future. There's plenty going on in the present.
That's 6 seconds on the shot clock, Tiara here, and Penny comes up with a big bomb. 15 points now in the ball game for him. Leads all scorers in the Breakers.
Vincent now looking to get things started. Another good drive and picks up a foul.
Foul, 7 black, push, 2.
So the foul on Rick Rickett, that's number 3.
Third personal for Rickett.
That's how you get to the rack. Darnell Hinson. Not the tallest player on the court, but very, very aggressive move to the basket then. Puts him on the line. He has not missed yet tonight. 5 of 5.
15 points. Wait a second, make that 16. So the star point guard transferred across from the West Sydney Razorbacks. Foreman had an open look. Fakes the first time, but he makes it the second time. That draws the score, 77 all. It hasn't been like that since, well, the beginning of the match. Been largely dictated by the Perth Wildcats, but Coleman with that three-pointer. That makes him 14 for the night. Brings the scores level. Redditch working hard. Badge not happy with that call, but he gets called for the front.
I'm always amazed at how Boucher goes up against superior athletes and bigger players than himself. Almost coming up with a play there.
Redditch rims the first free throw in. That gives him 13. You were saying that during the second quarter, I think it was Chris, about Sean Redditch's amazing ability to get to the line. Well, the Breakers have done a great job guarding him. He's only his second free throw of the whole match.
Yep, very good job. The big guys, they knew they had their hands full coming into this ball game.
Penny rolls off a screen, finds Dillon, left all alone, goes in, puts up a shot, draws a foul.
Oh, aggressive play there from Dylan Boucher. Draws the foul on Alex Loughton. See Boucher just catching Loughton out of position. 7 points in the ball game for Dylan, but his 4 offensive rebounds and 3 steals, 2 assists, another 2 defensive rebounds. It's all of those plays that Andre Lemanis will be most pleased about.
He's done a great job in those statistical areas, but he's struggled a bit from the line. He's really struggled. That's 1 for 4, 25% on the night. For Dylan, every point now proves crucial. Both teams, and 2 points separates them. Hinson. Got 3 fakes in that play. CJ gathers the ball, but he gets called for the foul, it looks like. Now it's time for Andre Lemanis to have a bit of a song and a dance.
Give him a singlet. There we see Boucher getting involved again, and Bruton. Plenty of hustle there from the Breakers side.
Well, considering how physical their game's been, this game has been, that was a tough ball. I didn't really see a blatant foul. It's my naked eye anyway, but that doesn't matter. The referees are in charge and they call it. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 79, 77. Kendall, good move. Takes it hard to the rack. He's a deceiving player. He's got Oscar Foreman on him, so he's got height, but
he's bigger than you. He's bigger than you think. Luke Kendall is bigger than you think.
Penny now.
Solid player.
Dishes it off to Foreman again. That three's a little long. Foul forward Rick Rickett, so that's number 4. Both players contesting the rebound, Rickett and Redditch.
Well, the crowd, again, giving it to Gavin Few, disagreeing with the call. It looked like they were both contesting the rebound. 4 for Rick Rickett there we see. No one else for the Breakers in foul trouble. Boucher has 4, sorry.
It has been a bit of an Achilles heel for the Breakers this season that they have a lot of players get into foul trouble. They've done a pretty good job so far. Kendall for 3. Kendall hits it. 2 big shots by Luke. That's 7 straight now for the Perth Wildcats, and they extend that lead back out to 7. They've done a good job in the last 2 minutes just regrouping, getting themselves back in a dominant position. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rick Rickett did a good job collecting the ball, but he stepped out of bounds, so timeout is called. Momentum again has switched. It's gone back to the visitors, 84 to 77.
There we see the end of Ronaldson's move, and Rick Rickett almost had to bounce it out of bounds. But Kendall, 13 points in the ball game, 6 of 8 from the field, giving his side a bit of breathing room.
can't flare screens. We're in the corner. We can't get that shit up. Keep him in front of us. Hey, Reddish is just flying over the top. You got to be strong. You come up with that shoot. If he hits you, go to the ground one time. See if you can get a goal. But someone throw him on the ground. Offensively, they're all getting up and in the lanes. We're having trouble getting into our flow. So if you're up here post, go ahead and get the post dive in the secondary. Come across hard, get that speed and get some cutters off it. Next time down, go with the 2 down. All right, go with the 2 down. Craig, you be the first cutter. All right, so you're up off there, here. CJ, you're on the weak side, so you're coming for that handoff and playing off that. Hey, we've got to make some stops though defensively. We've got plenty of time in this game. Defense. 1, 2, 3, defense.
Well, definitely they've got to get more aggressive at the defensive end, and I guess anytime you're playing against real aggressive defense, I think the idea is not to fight fire with fire. You want to look to play off that aggressive defense, and then he talked a little bit about cutting back door. If you're setting that screen and they jump out aggressively, you got to just cut to the basket hard.
Tigatau e whatena koe me Rafa Kamarama. Alex Loughton pulls up with a 15-footer. That's 9 straight. So the Breakers are in danger of letting this game slip away from them. Perth Wildcats have regained their composure in this 4th quarter. Loughton slaps the ball away. Henare regathers. Ronaldson for 3. No good. Good hustle again and follow through by Rick Rickett. Collected that loose ball, that wayward pass from Darnell Hinsett.
Rick Rickett with the breather.
Rick Ricketts has a seat on the bench. 10 points, 9 boards, and a big shot for the Breakers. 86 to 80 now.
Double digits for Bruton now, 11 points in the ball game, but reasonably quiet. 11 points for CJ and his standards.
Turnover, Luke Kendall got caught. Did a good job just getting past CJ Bruton, but then he ran into a whole heap of trouble. Breakers looking to get a bit of a run themselves. CJ hit a big 3, gets the ball, blows straight passing, draws the foul. So CJ Bruton starting to introduce himself more into this game.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect, and it was just a matter of time before he wasn't going to. We talked earlier, Tiarahi, about just how smart CJ is, and those wins that win on the road that they had here, we see him just put the ball to the floor, sees the gap, draws the foul, make sure he gets to the free throw line. But he's a smart player. You're going to see down the stretch in these last few minutes in the 4th quarter especially, he's going to go looking for the ball.
As his numbers start to build, that's 12 points now for CJ. Most efficient player in the competition. They do an assessment where they gather up all their statistics against their minutes played, and nobody produces more than CJ. Number 1 in assists. Number 1 in free throw percentage, 7th in steals, 8th in points per game. He's the only player in the entire league to be in the top 10 in all of those statistical categories. Crawford just slicing through in a pretty bank shot.
Having a whale of a game as Peter Crawford, 20 points in the ball game, leads all scorers now.
6 points differential. Ronaldson fakes the 3. Dishes it off to Boucher. Reverse layup. It's away, but he gets poked in the eye, and that will takes one for the team. Draws a foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Foul is called on 40. Alex Loughton with his 4.
So Dylan, we've talked about all the attributes and all the, hustle basically that he brings to this team, but he's been a lot more active on the offensive end. Free throw number 1. It's good. It's 2 of 5 now. Brings the Breakers to within 5 points. Makes it 2 from 2. 6:26 left on the clock. 88-84. Perth Wildcats in front.
Boucher heading towards double figures with 9 points.
CJ did a great job.
Watch it. Let's go. Come on.
Lifting the ball, let it to three is a bit of almost a situation between Kendall and Dylan Boucher in the backcourt. The play goes on. Knight is double teamed. Kendall looking to take the ball aggressive, but he loses control and turns it over.
Oh, and Luke Kendall. Him and Boucher, no love lost there between those two. Here we see Kendall loses the handle. Boucher and him fighting for it.
And Kendall goes, takes a seat on the bench, cools down. And the referee's telling everybody, hey, let's just chill out here. We've got 6 minutes of tight basketball. We don't want anybody saying or doing the wrong thing that could put their team in jeopardy. And they're stuck out all alone. Spit off. 7 seconds left on the clock. Jones goes left. Pump fake. Throws it up. It always looks short. Good defense again. Double team forcing Jones into a tough shot.
Not a good possession there for the Breakers.
Hinton down. Tracks a double team of his own. Jones gets called for the foul. Darnell Hinton doing a good job getting himself to the line.
There we see the shot fake. And Phil says, me?
That's a Phil Jones special. He usually does that with the shot fake and then just commits the play that draws the contact.
There was contact there, definitely. Darnell misses the first one, his first miss from the charity stripe for the night.
Misses two big free throws now. Darnell Hinton, 16 points. He was flawless up until that point.
The Bear asking for it down low. Give me the ball, boys. Let me go to work.
And he does a great job. 612 games of experience coming to the court. Tony Wilson trying to lead his team. It's a miraculous comeback, and he does a great job there with the hook shot. Wade. Got off Sean Redditch with the mismatch. Breakers do a good job collapsing on him. He had the advantage taking on CJ Bruton, who's got the ball now behind the back. Wade gets called for a foul.
That's exactly, you gotta let the players make the plays, right?
It's team foul number 4. All eyes immediately go to the scoreboard to see whether they're in the penalty.
He jinked them inside, outside, behind the back.
When the Breakers play the Adelaide 36ers, doors open at 6, tip-off at 7:30.
Bad handle shown by CJ Bruton, the old boy getting it done. See a little more razzle-dazzle. Basketball is sure there will be some more of that type of action coming our way. 4:26 left on the clock. Let's listen in. The Perth Wildcats found out the whakaaro. Nea he te meme hahaere te wā. Nei, ua tonu ngā piro te rereketa ka ki wanganu i ngā tima e rua nei. Wildcats kei runga tonu waru te kau māwaru. The team of Breakers, waru kau māwaru.
Let's run high stagger. Run high stagger all the way through. All right? But we want rim pressure. If you got a wide open jumper, knock it down. If not, going into the post, play off it. You're in fire right now. All right? Concentrate. All right? All this noise, all these distractions don't mean a thing. All right? Keep yourselves tight. High stagger. You're in fire right now. Everybody rebound. Good, boys.
What you'd expect, nice and simple, concise, to the point. Offensive play, what are you doing on defense? And an extra point there, concentrate, block everything else out. I like it from Connor Henry. Played the most games now in the league so far at this stage, 11 games. The Wildcats. And they look like that coming in here. They look like they're, you know, reasonably polished team at both ends.
Battle-hardened. This Perth Wildcats team. Kirk Kenny steps out for a three. Nobody comes up to collect him. Again, Dylan Boucher, of course it's Dylan Boucher. Another offensive board. Nakuinata mato kupu poi tū ko huko te tūrapa. Our basketball term for the fourth and final quarter is tūrapa rebound.
Dylan Boucher, an amazing statistic here, just pulled down his 5th offensive rebound. There he is there boxing Peter Crawford out. Double digits for Boucher.
Boucher getting the radar in on the free throw line. He's hit his last 3. Make that 4 straight.
Seven players now from the Breakers in double digits. Ronaldson 12, Foreman 14, Penny 15, Rickett 10, Jones 11, Bruton 13, and Boucher 11.
Well, that's the true success of Breaker basketball. You know what Kirk's going to do. You know what CJ's going to do. It's when these other players like Oscar Foreman, Ronaldson, and as a bonus, Dylan Boucher, so they start contributing on the score sheet, as well as at the defensive end. The Breakers become a very dangerous team. CJ for 3! He hits it!
Can you believe it? They're in front with 3:53 to go.
Jones gets pulled off for the slap. Foul 91-88, but Breakers for the first time in the entire match have edged ahead with 3:50 left on the clock.
Where did that start? That last play, which led to that 3. A steal from Boucher. Here we see, there's number 24 come and get his left hand in there, almost like a block really on Peter Crawford, and then at the other end he did a good job of screening a man out, so Bruton was left wide open.
Dylan Boucher, without a doubt, has just been done a stellar job of creating opportunities for his teammates. Victor misses the first free throw.
Raucous crowd here at the NSEC tonight. They're loving it.
It's not the biggest crowd they've had, but it's definitely one of the most vocal. Victor 1 from 2. So the scoreline reads 91-89. CJ's just come to life in this fourth quarter. 16 points now. He leads the Breakers in scoring. Great pass. Backdoor play for Kirk Kenny.
Superb execution there, and Ronaldson right on the money with that pass.
Good ball rotation. Victor finishes off with an exclamation mark to show that there's still a bit of life in this Wildcats team.
Oh, it's game on.
Nakuina te haukuru jam. Nakuina te tuturutanga o tērā haukuru Isaiah Victor. Penny finds Phil Jones in the corner. Rims out. Wildcats set piece. Victor just throws Jones to the floor, finds himself wide open, no foul call.
Oh, again the crowd booing the referees. Definitely contact there from Isaiah Victor.
Poor refs have been getting it from everyone, all the coaches, now the crowd's in on it. Ronaldson backs him down, dishes it off to Rickett. Good play, changed the shot mid-air, and then he collects the offensive board. Rickett dominating the offensive glass.
5 offensive rebounds for Rick Rickett now.
Picks up another double-double, 12 points, 10 boards. Also to go along with 3 assists. Redditch. Off to Victor for 3-point land, no good. Rick, 11 boards now.
The Breakers will live with that. Victor shooting a 3-pointer.
They'll give him that. Ronaldson, his 3's long. We go, Ben Knights finds himself all alone at the other end of the court. Good play, good vision by Peter Crawford.
Well, Lemanis is calling for the travel. Thought Ben Knight took an extra step.
Penny for three. That's no good. Phil Jones hunting the ball down. Hinson ends up with it. Gets fouled. So coming to the closing stages of this match, it's anybody's game. 1:28 on the clock. The scores 95 each. Both teams in the penalty and both with one timeout left.
Well, Hinson's been very solid all night. Here's the three-point look from Penny. The hustle on the rebound. Jones almost had it. Redditch got it to Hinson, and there's the foul. 6 of 8 from the line tonight, but he missed his last two.
Sets his iron. Gets that one, so the Wildcats take a 1-point lead. It's up to 2 now with 1:28 left on the clock. Both teams will want aggressive defense, but they won't want to give away a foul. CJ using Ronaldson as a shield. Gets double teamed, dishes it off to Foreman in the corner. The three shot, Kirk Penny picks it up. Gets the putback. 19 now for Kirk. Scores level again. Clock winds down now, just under a minute to go. Loughton with the ball, puts it to the floor. Crawford backing his way in, fadeaway jump shot. Peter Crawford dribbles in, big shot, as he has done for this whole game. 22, he leads all scorers. 40 seconds left, CJ with the ball. Off to Tony Ronaldson. Kirk again with the pump fake. Draws the contact, doesn't get the call, but gets the bank shot. Smart play by Kirk Penny, big shot, 99 all.
I'm over here, they're right there.
As the play stops. It appears to be a bit of an issue with the shot clock at this point. But all the drama and the tension is unfolding here at the NSEC. Breakers have given themselves every opportunity to pull off a big come-from-behind win. 17 points, Chris, was the deficit at 1 point. Now the scores are all level. But I guess, if anything, cool, calm, and collected heads will be necessary in this last 27 seconds. Chris Tipper's getting closer to the action. He's down courtside now. These teams prepare.
Well, it's going to be a great finish, Tiarahi. Tell you what, the atmosphere down courtside is pretty electric.
So the shot clock's all good. Hinson. 20 seconds left in the game. Wildcats looking to end this and go home with 3 wins straight on the road. Loughton for a 3. Doesn't get it. 2 seconds left on the clock. Penny gets tripped. And Penny, it appears the Wildcats have been called for a foul. Kirk Penny will go to the line with no time remaining on the clock. Everybody's going down bananas next to you there, Chris.
Well, the facials say it all from Connor Henry. Ecstasy at one end of the bench and agony at the other. And Penny will get a chance to put the game out of reach. He's still going. You've got to be careful not to get a technical foul. Alan Godden made the call.
Have a look now at the play. 4 seconds left on the clock. Look, from my point of view, it looked like a trip.
Well, he definitely made contact, and whether it was intentional or not, Godden has called the foul. And he's out of there.
Coach Henry has just been irate for the last 30 seconds. Gets hit with a technical.
Technical foul is called on the Wildcats.
So, Chris, you're saying in that replay, have a look at it again. There's no contact there.
Well, didn't look like, you know, I mean, if it was anything, it was not intentional, but Penny, he tripped over. The referee, maybe in hindsight, should have just let the teams go to overtime, but Penny will get a chance to finish them off.
Let me tell you, my friend, it's going to be an interesting post-match interview as Kirk Penny hits the first free throw. He's got 2 to go, but that'll be enough. The Breakers. There's 2. It's 1 second left on the clock. They've rewound the clock. Penny, perfect, under pressure. Hits 3 big shots.
And here's the technical that CJ will shoot.
CJ with a rare miss from the free throw line, but this will definitely put it beyond any doubt. There it is, 103 to 99. Breakers retain position because of the technical foul. They come back from being down 17 points at one stage. The Breakers get a huge victory over the Perth Wildcats here at the NSEC. Let's have a look back at the replay, this pivotal moment in the game that will be talked about for a long time. Okay, Kirk Penny, just look closely at it.
That is one heck of a game of basketball, ladies and gentlemen. How about the teams on the courts?
I've got one of my directors, Robbie Neha, on the line. He's telling me he got clipped. Robbie, you're blind. He did not get clipped. He barely touched him. He trips up, but they get the fortuitous call, as it happens in sport. And the Breakers this time benefit. And they get the victory to keep their home record intact and to get a rare win over the Wildcats. It's only their second win in 11 games against Perth. So fantastic result if you're a Breakers fan. Commiserations if you're a Perth fan. But here's Andre Lamanis to give his side of the story to Chris Tippett.
Well, Coach Lamanis, what do you make of that finish?
I'm really obviously pleased. I thought the way we played that second half, we spoke at halftime about the defense. We kept them to 40 points in that second half. We got after it. I'd like to see the shooting percentages. I'm sure it's a lot less than 67. And we kept gutsing it out, you know, and I'm glad Al had the guts to make that call. It was a foul.
Just what did you say to the team at halftime, Andre? I would have loved to have been in that locker room. What was the message?
Well, as we spoke about, is the energy and the effort of the defensive end, and that I thought that group that finished that second half showed where that second quarter showed where that level was. We started with them in the third quarter, and they again brought the energy, and that got the rest of the group going. So it was just about effort and the application. 7
players, I think, in double figures off the top of my head. But how about Dylan Boucher's performance? That was vintage work from him.
Yeah, Boucher's doing a great job. He keeps helping you win, and as everyone does, they contribute in their different ways. Not everyone can be a scorer. We need other people to fill their roles, and that's one of the pleasures about coaching this group is we don't have any egos. Everyone understands where they fit and how to help the team win.
612 games for the Bear. Any words of, congratulations to him?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic achievement. And I said to him before the game that, I played with him when he first started in the league, and it's been a pleasure. Yeah, I know, it's a long time ago. And it's been a pleasure watching him grow as a player and as an individual. I think he's really matured and, again, found different ways to develop his game to help teams win. And I'm just happy that I'm a part of it now. I get to see the good parts of it.
Well done, Andre. Enjoy that victory. Another home one, and good luck with your game on Saturday.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Very happy Andre Lemanis, as you can imagine he would be, with his team gutsing out a tough win. 103-99. Breakers get the win over the Perth Wildcats. We will assess this game right after the break.
Passion will go a long way. We are underway. Craziness! That's a big hit. And the Kiwis go up!
If you've never learned to swim, you're like a baby in the water. Ako nā te kauhoi, hei oranga mōu.
On August the 6th, 1991, a war started. The war for our attention. The birth of the internet would rock traditional media to the core. Anyone could say anything to everyone. The amount of content now at our disposal is truly incredible. And therein lies the challenge. Without our attention, it might as well not exist.
Since 2000, the health budget's nearly doubled, and yet you're waiting longer to get an operation. So where's all that money gone, you might ask? Well, today in the health system, there are more administrators than hospital beds. National's plan will control the runaway bureaucracy and reallocate vital resources where they're needed the most, to the front line of our health system. All you have to do is choose it.
To vote in this year's general election, you must enrol now because you can't do it on the day. Waiatu kia 0800 36 76 56, me free text toingoa me tō kāinga noho kia 36 76, me uru rānei I tētahi post chop.
Ben Mitchell. Selena Jet-Li.
Guess we all connected, huh?
You need to undergo a grand transformation before we meet my parents.
What? Auntie Kahu is now in town.
Love has no language.
People are our greatest wealth.
Feeling safe about walking down the street with my cousins. He hate mea noi, tuku wānau.
The Māori Party. You speak, we listen.
Tuesday on Kōwhiri 08. We examine the relationship between Labour and Māori, its history, the current candidates, and what our exclusive polls are saying. Kōwhiri 08, Tuesday on Māori Television.
Kirk Penny te tangata I tuake I te paunga o tēnei kēmu. He whawhai I haere mo te kēmu katoa ra tai atu ki te miniti ki te hekona whakamutunga nā tērā I whiriwhiri a te toa. O e hika mā koe nā te tūturutanga o te NBL point 2 kohu e ki te tonutia ki runga I a whakata Māori. The Breakers getting the fortuitous call at the dying stages of the game to secure the win, and it's a tough win that they had up against the Perth Wildcats, which they trailed for the majority of their game, 103-99. No reire te wi tēnei waka titiro ake ki tētahi o ngā tino toki o te Cup of Breakers kui rā, a Dylan Boucher.
Dylan Boucher, the stat stuffer. Mate, that was a physical game. Did it feel like that out there?
Yeah, we knew coming in it was going to be a dogfight and it was going to be physical, and we just didn't want to match it. We wanted to have the upper hand in that physical battle, and first quarter I didn't feel like we did that. 3 quarters I feel like we did, and we came out and we really gave it to them, and we fought for everything, and right down the stretch it really counted.
amongst the players at half-time? Did you guys get together? You know, I know the coaches would have given you the direction, but did you guys get together and say, look, let's take care of this?
Yeah, absolutely. CJ came in and said we're playing with no balls, and you know we need to go out there and show some balls, and you know that's pretty much what it came down to. And it came out in the second half, and I felt like we showed big ones.
Definitely big kahunas in the second half. Now, what were you and Luke talking about in the corner down there, mate?
Just talking about what pub we're going to have a beer at tonight.
For you, you know, you had 7 players scoring double figures yourself. You got in there tonight, mate. Hey, happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime I get double figures, it's a bonus. But you know, guys were creating and just giving me the easy ones, and I made the most of it tonight. So yeah, it was great.
Now, this style of play from the Perth team, you know, we talked off camera, you were there. It's a philosophy there is to come out and you know, play that physical action.
Absolutely. They talk about bumping cutters and be the physical team, and you know, we knew they were going to come out and play like that, and you know, some of those guys are my old teammates, so I knew it was good to get the upper hand on them.
Dylan, awesome game tonight, mate. That's vintage performance from you. Well done.
Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it.
Winner Dylan Bouch, and having a look at his test statistics for this game, 11 points, which is not, you don't really see that from Dylan Bouch, 60% from the floor. He hit a few clutch free throws at the end of that game, but this is the stuff that you always see. 5 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive boards, a couple of assists, and 3 steals. He had a helping hand in almost everything to keep the Breakers' dreams alive. So that's the hustler, Mr. Hustle, the pest, whatever you want to call him. Dylan Boucher proving to be the X factor, the difference between the two teams, especially in that last quarter. But one guy who tried his heart out and was very effective at both ends of the court for the Perth Wildcats, that was Peter Crawford.
Stand by.
So Peter Crawford hits the 3-point shot. He started off fairly sluggishly with Darnell Hinton scoring 12 points in the first quarter, but after that it was all Crawford hitting big 3 after big 3. There you go, here's the go-to man in the second half. He ended up being the top scorer for this team. Peter Crawford, that was his 3rd 3-pointer, but he wasn't just settling for the threes, he was also cutting to the hoop and hitting big free throw shots. He had a tough assignment early on in the game trying to contain Kirk Penny, which he did a great job of doing. But then when it came to the offensive end, it came for his time to shine. He hit a long-range 3. That was a bomb. Peter Crawford, all-star performance on an all-star team.
Well, Peter Crawford, courageous effort from yourself. You know, what are your thoughts on that match? One that slipped away?
To lose a game like that is it's pretty painful for us. Probably deserved a little bit better. You know, that one really stings. I think might have been a bit better if we had given the two teams another 5 minutes and you know, sort of sorted it out through the players. But you know, disappointing. We're all hurting a little bit from that one.
You played them 3 times in the pre-season. Did you think you had a pretty good game plan coming into the game tonight?
Playing each other 3 times in pre-season, we both know each other pretty well. They're playing at a real high level. They're real tough at home. You know, they're a top 4 team, so they're one of the best teams in the league. So we came in here with a mindset that we had to play well to win, and you know, played to our game plan. Just fell apart there a little bit at the end.
Physically, this is by far the most physical team that we've seen in the competition come to the NSEC. Is that a real feature of your game?
You know, we play hard on defense, and you know, we try and execute on offense. We don't go out to try and play more physical than anyone else. Got a big bunch of guys and a quick bunch of guys. It's not an actual game plan, but you know, I think we're just as physical as most other teams out there.
What's your thoughts on that last call? Foul, no foul?
For me, my opinion would be to let it go and you know, let the guys play another 5 minutes. You know, it's an entertaining game, tied scores. Give each other another 5 minutes to go at each other. You know, a bit more entertainment for everyone. It's tough to get them calls even at the end of quarters, but to get one for the game, you know, it's probably best to let the players decide more than anything. But ref's got to call what he sees, and you know, we've got to take it. It's definitely controversial, but you know, basketball always is. Disappointing for us though as well. You know, we probably could have played a little bit better towards the end, but yeah, that stings.
Peter, thanks very much for talking to us. I know it's hard after a loss like that, mate, and good luck next week.
No worries, thanks very much.
Ngā tauranga mō Peter Crawford, the shooting guard for the Perth Wildcats. Top scored both for the away team, 22 points, 50% from the floor, 61% from the floor, and 50% from three-point range, was a fantastic percentage. Chipped in also with 5 assists, getting his teammates involved in 2 steals, did a good job at defending Kirk Penny. Speaking of which, Kirk Penny, well, he was pretty dormant throughout the first 3 quarters, but really stepped it up in the 4th. And then he was the one that was involved in that last quarter that decided the outcome of the game. Let's have a look at some of his highlights. The same. That's bread and butter there for Kirk Penny. Hits a couple of 2 3-point shots, make it 3. Got the radar in quick, but then there was the free throw shooting as well as the whole combination. Had again tough time against Peter Crawford, but really started to light things up in the second half. Started cutting through to the rim, and there it is. There was the trip, and then the last few free throws, and that's what ended out the game.
Kirk Penny, walk us through that last couple of seconds, mate, when the trip happened.
Oh, I mean, I was trying to get a half-court heave, a miracle off, and I guess you back yourself to make it, but you know the percentage chance is so low, yet they fouled me. So it was a bit of a gift from heaven right there.
A gift of heaven. Would it be fair to say that you've used your get-out-of-jail card tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they had us on the ropes with a 15-point lead, and we managed to just stay strong. Defensively, got some great stops and great rebounds, and managed to. That's as close as it gets right there. I hope everyone at home enjoyed that game because that was unbelievable playing.
That was a great game. You know, watching in commentary, Tiara and I were very much involved in the game every second. Now, the physical play, you and Peter Crawford had a fine matchup there going. A lot of screens running. Difficult physically for you in that matchup?
Yeah, just in the first half, they're taking outside of our offense a little bit, and I was just struggling with my turnovers and trying to get a good rhythm. But it came round, you know, where we got great looks in the second half and managed to knock them down. And defensively, we did a really good job. There was one unit that came in the first half that started the second that really got us back in the ball game.
And Boucher, 11 points, mate. How about his performance tonight? Vintage.
Yeah, brilliant. You see what he's doing out there. He's working so hard, and I mean, he's great. Made his free throws as well down the stretch. It was, you know, huge buckets, all of them. And
for you guys now, just looking ahead, what's happening?
Yeah, we've got a quick turnaround. So flying out tomorrow to Townsville, playing them Saturday night. So, you know, it's good to ride this wave of confidence into that game because it's a tough place to play in Townsville, and looking to pull it off again.
Back here next week.
Back here next week against Adelaide. So it's an important week for us.
Kirk, way to knock those shots down to win the match, and good luck on the road, mate.
Cheers, Toops. Thanks a lot, guys. Awesome job, buddy.
Kirk Penny there. Yeah, they played their get-out-of-jail card free, as Chris said, and, well, they get the victory. 24 points for Kirk, 66% from the three-point line. Again, phenomenal stat, 61% from the floor. And those big free throws towards the end there, 80%, along with 2 assists, 3 defensive boards. He did have a few turnovers early in the first half, but in the second half, that's when he got the job done. Nō reira e hoa mākuina te tauranga whakamutunga. 103-99, the Breakers get the big W over the Perth Wildcats to take their winning percentage to 75%. That's a 6-2 record, best start they've ever had, and they are trailblazing their way, even though it's early stages in the season, to the playoffs. But don't worry about the Perth Wildcats. They will be back and hungrier in a couple of weeks when they return to take on the New Zealand Breakers. Nō reira e rauranga tira mā, mai mātou o whakaata Māori e mihi atu ana, pai Māori re, kia tātou katoa. starting lineup for the players and you automatically identify that it is a quality team. They're not an 0-5 side. They're a very good team and they will definitely challenge the Bakers tonight. At the NSEC, Rakuta Mata Kupu Point Tukohu. Every quarter will bring you a Māori term, basketball term, Paiti, which is tip-off. Nakua Paiti te Paoro, Nakua Riu Mā te Kapa Gold Coast Plains.